Oh my word.
Another phone call.
Another phone call. This one, sorry about that, people.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix this. So we put the phone now on
Airplane mode.
airplane mode.
So hopefully that works, but we're on Wi-Fi, so things might still come through. Hopefully not though, because it's nuts. It ends the live for us, and it's
It
not good.
does. It ends the live. Sorry, Pat.
Sorry, Pat, you were watching us.
You were watching us. Everybody was watching us.
I know.
Electronics. They work. When they work, they make our lives so much easier. And when
When they don't work, it's like, oh.
when they don't work, we're like, oh, no. Why? Why?
Man.
I know. I don't know. So sorry about that again.
Yeah.
I know that it was the kid's doctor that was calling, and I saw.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know. We do have lots of stuff that we're going to be talking about though today.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
I know. Stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit longer while everybody
Gets combobulated again.
I don't know how to fix it, but I am getting a new phone. I have a new phone.
You just haven't set it up?
I haven't set it up yet. I've been having we're still waiting for somebody to pop in that was, because I don't want to start talking about our stuff quite yet.
Yeah.
I know, I was like, oh, maybe we can use my computer and tell somebody, put it out there, like, oh my gosh.
So we're sorry, and welcome
are
back
so
to Friday
sorry.
Favorites though.
So sorry. Yes, welcome back. I'm gonna just hop on the computer real quick and go over here.
Technology on that. Yeah, we have a lot of things to go over today, and we hope that you guys will all enjoy what we have in store for you.
Okay, we're still waiting. Let me just post this real quick.
I think that emoji looks good.
This one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
distress.
Yes. Here we go, hold on. Oh, hi, Joy. Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
Joy.
We are so sorry about these phone calls.
It ends the live, and so we panic, and we're like, oh no,
Right.
we're so sorry.
Okay, so I have, I have a new phone, but the thing is I'm switching from AT&T to Verizon, and apparently AT&T is not happy with that, so I haven't been able to set my new phone up with Verizon because they're taking a little bit of time to unlock my phone so that I can switch it over.
That's so
Switch
weird.
take my number and everything over. So
Yeah.
that's my little phone conundrum, in case y'all are wondering. But as soon as we get my new phone, that hopefully it'll
work.
it'll work. Joy, how is your Friday?
Are you doing good on hopefully this fine day for you? You're in Ketchikan.
It
Weather
was-
is so gross.
Oh my gosh, the wind was crazy last night again.
It was like howling. It was.
I
It
think-
almost like shut me into the car.
Yeah. I think it's been about like I think in the 40s to 50 mile an hour winds. So
Not
yes, I know, super crazy. Okay, should we start? Do you want to go first on your Fridays?
Sure. So the first thing I want to go over is this little Funky Friends factory pattern. We have a few of these. They're basically just patterns for stuffed animals, and stuffed animals is the first thing that I learned how to sew actually. I was in a sewing class in my school, and we used some of these patterns to pick up on how to, like, you know, sew. And these are actually a lot of fun, really easy and simple. And I really like them. They're great for starters. They're great for kids to learn how to sew, because what kid doesn't want stuffed animals? And
Yes.
a little recommendation I have for them is put some rice or like heavy little grains at like the feet so it can sit up. It's really nice.
And this lady who does these, the Funky Friends, she is from Australia, and she is the nicest lady. So she also has a YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She has a great YouTube channel. She has a great blog. If you want to pick up any of these patterns, you can head on over just to look at and she tells you which ones are more complicated and which ones aren't. We like using Cuddle for these, but you can also use any of your quilting scrap fabrics, things like that on these. So Funky Friends, and you can find them on our website.
Yeah, and we have different things other than a rhino. We have a shark left, a doll, and I'm not sure what, an alligator or a crocodile.
Yeah. Yes.
They're really cute.
They are very cute. Yeah, so Funky Friends.
And then this one is $14.99 for the rhino.
Yes.
And then
What's
the
your next
other one I have in store for you is a little gauge. So this is from Clover. It's one of the newer items that we have in the store. So basically what it does, you can use it for so here it says you can use it for spacing and marking your buttonholes, which is really nice. You can use it for seeing your seam allowance gauge, your hem gauge. It has this little circle compass. So what you can do, so right here, you push to be able to move it, and you can mark gauges all around over here.
Yes.
And you can there's a little hole right here in the center that you put your pencil in, and if you want to make a circle, you just press down on this little white part here and just turn it in a circle. It's a compass, so it's cool. And it's really handy for marking stuff and measuring stuff when you don't have something else to measure and mark your fabric.
Yeah.
And
These are, I like this one better than my metal one that I have. It's a little bit more sturdy, and it also, so you can hear it a little bit, it has little notches. So this little slider, you can kind of lock it into place. So a lot of times when I'm sewing dresses or hems and I'm going, so instead for me what I do is I measure from one end and then in little increments all the way across. And on the smaller metal one that I've had for years, every once in a while this little part, it's red on my metal one, will slide just ever so slightly, but as it slides, when you're going down a 45-inch seam, it can make a difference, a half an inch difference sometimes. So by the time you get to the other end. So I do really like this.
Yeah, so it doesn't move around when you're trying to mark all your seams, and it's really nice.
Yeah. And this one's by Clover. It's one of the Nancy Z-Men.
And this one is $16.99, and we have it on our online shop too. So
Yes.
you can see it there.
It would be under Notions. All things sewing and then Notions. All right. All people like marking their fabrics differently. Some people use pencil or friction, or the friction pens that are erasable. I've not ever had great success with them. It's probably a user error, but it's also not what I prefer. So these are the ones that I prefer. And they've redone their packaging. It's Nifty Notions, and these are air vanishing pens.
Ooh, air vanishing.
Air vanishing. So the marks disappear, and I use these when I'm sewing. If I need to do a quick, like slightly over or 5/8 of a seam allowance, I will just take one of these, mark it, let it dry, and they just come right off, but they stay on the machine as well. They don't rub off.
Oh, okay.
But in a couple of days, they disappear anyways.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can also use a damp cloth.
To like wipe it off?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or a sprayer, one of our continuous misters will work. So these are, hi Ashley's mom.
Hi, Mom.
These are great. They're some of my favorites. I really like the purple and the pink. Every once in a while, I'm able to snag these in a white for dark fabrics, but these happen to be my absolute favorite for marking fabrics.
They sound really handy too.
Yes. And last week we talked about needle education. So I thought this would be the perfect time to show my two favorites that I like to sew with. And there's a couple of interesting facts about needles. So we had talked a little bit about it. I think it was Pat who said she heard every 3 bobbins. And some people were, I think another person said, well, I really don't change mine very often. But you should really change them every 8 hours on average if you're using something like a universal needle. Because the universal needles they're not super sharp like the Microtex needles, so they're, hence the name universal. They're kind of one size fits most, and they will last a little bit longer because they're not as sharp.
Oh, okay.
So 8 hours on those, probably good. 8 hours on a Topstitch needle is probably good. If you're sewing batiks, for me anyways, I prefer these, which is, hi Pam, these are Microtex needles, and I use these for batiks. My other favorite, which is my general sewing, I don't tend to use universal needles. I tend to use Topstitch needles. Now, the difference between these, which you would think, okay, well, Microtex is going to be sharper, which it is. The Microtex needles themselves are sharper. They have a skinnier shank, and they're meant for really tight woven fabrics and delicate fabrics.
Okay. So like silk?
Silks, chiffons, batiks, not really canvas, but suedes, like faux suedes, things like that. So these little Microtex needles, though, they need to be changed more often because their points are such that, because of the tighter weave of fabric, the point and the eye of the needle are both shaped for those specifically.
Oh, okay.
So you can use a Microtex needle on any fabric really, but you're gonna have to lengthen your stitch length, and you're not gonna be able to use like our Invisifil. Our Invisifil thread would be great in these because it's really thin. The eye on the Microtex needles is skinnier than most because the shank is smaller. So it's skinnier and it's shorter. The needle itself is sharper, skinnier, and meant to go in between those fine little weaves without breaking the threads of this fine little weaves.
Ooh, those are handy.
So you don't want to use your regular thread in a Microtex.
Oh.
Yeah, because it'll shred the thread.
Ooh.
Yeah, which we've all had those moments where we're sewing and all of a sudden you're like, what happened to my thread? Why did I just sew like 16 stitches and my thread is gone? And you have to rethread it. It's usually because the eye of your needle isn't matching your sewing project or your thread that you're using.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, the eyes of the needles are all different. And Schmetz, which we carry Schmetz, they have 15 different types of needles. And those 15 different types, they label to help you choose which would best fit your project. However, they're sometimes interchangeable. Like ballpoint is used for knits. It can also be used for lycra, and we suggest using them for our cuddle.
Oh, okay.
So, the Topstitch needle. Topstitch needles are what I use in place of love, and I like the Topstitch Chrome, which is what we carry. Why use those in place of the universal? Because I'm able to use a wider range of thread weight.
Oh, okay.
And for me, that's important. It gives a really nice stitch. You wouldn't want to use the Topstitch necessarily for free motion quilting. You could, but I wouldn't suggest it. I would probably use a quilting needle for that. But the hole is wider for the eye and a little bit longer. So it lets you move and maneuver the fabric more, but also the thread. So if you go and you turn a corner or you're trying to make a curve, it's not going to hit the shank and shred your thread.
Oh.
So Topstitch needles, that's one of my favorites. But you talk to anybody else, some people don't like Topstitch needles.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's sort of all personal preference?
It is. When it comes to the general sewing, it is. Some people use Topstitch, some people use universal. So it really depends on what you like.
Oh.
Now, we do chrome on most of ours, and that's because they last longer. You still want to change them. Hi, Sherry.
Hello.
You still want to change them though about every 8 hours. Or if you're going to be starting, if you quilt your top and you're going to be doing machine quilting, put a new needle on. It's such a small investment, I'm telling you. So a pack of 5 for the Microtex, for instance, is $6.67, and these ones are not chrome. These ones are just the standard Microtex. The chrome's Topstitch is $8.99. That's such a small investment to make sure that your stitch quality is there.
Yeah.
Because it all comes down to the needle, your thread, your tension, all of that. But your needle makes a huge difference.
It's kind of like it's the smallest thing, but it's
It is.
the world of
Right?
sewing.
And for whatever reason, and sometimes I'm terrible, for whatever reason, we just don't change them. It's not a huge investment. It's really not.
And it's like a really easy change.
And it's an easy change.
It just
It's
doesn't
fast.
happen.
It just doesn't happen. We just don't think about it. And it's funny because even, if you're sewing with a heavier weave, quilting cotton, or even like when you're using the Microtex, for instance, that's why you have to change these more, because those batiks, they're such a tight weave, they just hit on that point over and over, and the thread doesn't get cut, or the threads of the weave don't get cut by the needle. So the needle is like pushing these little the weave apart, so it dulls them a lot faster.
So Microtex for
Microtex, you want to change off it as soon as you hear it kind of go like clink or plunk on
plunk.
yeah, on your fabric, I better change it. I better change it. So, just some little information. I have put out, I haven't put it out yet. I did a newsletter, and as soon as we're done with the live, we'll put it on Facebook, we'll put it out there so that y'all can read it with a little bit more information about your needles, because it's super important.
Yeah, and on our website you can subscribe to the newsletter, so
Yes.
it'll go into your email whenever we send one out.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I talked about this last time. When I took a class on needle education from Schmetz, I thought, what are they going to talk about for an entire hour? It's a needle, for Pete's sakes. But I learned a lot of information that I never knew. And one other thing before do you want to grab one of the Schmetz over there? Everybody should know how to open, how to open one of these little packages, right? They can be tricky. They can be super tricky. 2 thumbs and you push it down. Oh, see, even for me. So you push it down, push it up, And there's a natural stopping point on it, so it's not like you're gonna yank it off, but you just push it up, right? And then this is meant to fold back.
Whoa.
So that you can grab them with ease. And then you push it back, right? Push it back up there and close the front. So,
That's
2 thumbs,
cool.
open it, pull it back, grab there. You would think they're pretty tricky, but there's a reason why they did it like that. But there is a natural, yeah?
That's cool.
You don't have to worry about, you know, just use your 2 thumbs and push it up. And then you can grab the little white part if you need to. Pull that back. So, if you're sewing with any little kids, this can be a tricky little thing to open for them. So rather than destroying it, just show them the 2 thumb trick. Fold the, right? Fold the white part back and grab your needles. And if for some reason you need to change your needle out halfway through, you know, have a little, maybe that's what we can do for one of our sewing projects soon. A little needle keeper. For the ones that are halfway used, you know, maybe you only used them for one project and it still has life in it. Rather than putting it back in with your new.
Oh, putting it into like a different little.
Yeah, we can do a little needle holder for your semi-used needles that are not yet ready to be tossed. So, hi Denise.
Hello.
So, that's what we have on needles. Oh, now we get, look, I'm gonna check it off. I made myself a little note. Okay. What should we talk about first? Oh, I talked about our newsletter.
So I guess it's
Okay. So we talked last week about doing a club.
Ooh.
I know. I'm pretty excited about this. So and I didn't wear mine today. I don't know why. So here in Alaska, especially Southeast Alaska, we have these boots called Extra Toughs. And it's just a brand of boots that
Everyone uses.
everyone wears. So we are doing a strip club. I know that sounds a little funny, huh? But we're gonna call it the Extra Tough Strip Club. They are the 2.5 inch strips, and we will be making 1 quilt a month. So it's $10 to join, and we will be putting this online. I'll post it on Facebook. We'll make sure that we have it under virtual classes and live classes for those who are local. And these will be a Zoom class combined with a live class. So everybody will be able to see each other. We'll have a couple of laptops. We will do the $10. That will include your pattern, and you'll get a 15% off your purchase for whatever materials you buy from us for the project. The first day, I wrote this down. So we will have the first day on November 28th, or they're going to be on Sundays at 2 p.m. Now, if you join and you can't make Sunday at 2 p.m., and this is Alaska time, so if you can't make it, these will be recorded sessions and you'll be able to access them.
Yeah.
So even if you pay the $10 and you're like, shoot, I can't make it, that's okay, we got you covered. We got your back.
Yeah.
We do. The 28th is when you want to sign up by. And we will make sure that you get your pattern. If you sign up on the 28th, we will ship it out on Monday so that you have it. But on the 28th, we'll go over the pattern. We'll go over basic construction of it. And then on the 12th of December, we'll have a midway point where if you have questions, if you want to show part of your quilt top that you have done, or maybe you're super speedy and you got your quilt top done, don't show it all because we're going to have a show and tell later, but you can at least give our tips. Give tips what you learned, maybe errors that you did. If you are using a directional print, all of a sudden you have it going the wrong way and you had to rip it out.
No.
hopefully not, but you know, it happens.
Yeah.
So we will be rolling that out. I'll be putting reminders in a newsletter. We'll be putting reminders in Facebook and on Instagram. And we'll have lives also that we'll remind you of. So
Yeah.
I hope that you guys join our Extra Tough Strip Club.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It will be. It'll be tons of fun. What else were we gonna? Next
So,
Wednesday.
Our next sew along. It's
Our
gonna
next
be
one. I
an
know.
eye pillow.
An eye pillow.
So eye pillows, I bet you all know what it is.
Eye pillow.
It's really handy when you're on the airplane and there's like windows open everywhere and you're just like, I need sleep. And then you have the eye pillow and it covers your eyes and it blocks out all the light and it's perfect.
Right, or if you are having sinus issues or you just need a relaxing moment, these eye pillows we will be filling with rice and flax seed along with an essential oil, or you can do rice and lavenders
or any other sort of herb
right
that you like to smell.
So we will be filling those, and they will be you can microwave them.
So they're nice and warm when you put them on your face. It's awesome.
Yeah, we all need something like this for the holidays, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a spa day treatment sort of thing.
Right. A quilter's spa day. You gotta make it, but it's gonna be awesome for gifts. It's gonna be great for yourself. They're super easy to whip up, and we will be putting out that pattern. Penny is working on the directions, and I will be getting them up online so that you can purchase them later today, and those will be on our download files. And gosh, you will be able to use, what did we say? You can use fat quarters, coordinating fat quarters. You can use, I think it's 2 10-inch squares that are coordinating also. So 2 10-inch squares will make one eye pillow. 2 fat quarters will make one eye pillow, and you'll have some left over. Or you can use yardage as well. Quarter yard should be fine. Is that right, Mom? It's like a 6 by 10. No, 5 by 10?
9 inches wide and 4 inches high.
Okay, 9 inches wide, 4 inches high for the fabric
Yes.
cutting. Okay,
So a quarter yard should be.
Well, that's the finished.
oh,
So you can
no.
use either fat quarters or 10-inch squares.
Yeah, I got that part. So 10-inch squares, really, I mean, it's super easy,
Super simple.
super simple. You'll want to, because we're putting essential oils and herbs and stuff in there, you'll want to have a backing layer as well, like a lining, and that could be any white, muslin or extra fabric that you have, just so that it remains durable if you're going to be putting it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Hi, Sandra.
Yeah, if you're putting it in the microwave, make sure to use like cotton stuff. Don't use polyester.
No metal. Not that you would be putting metal in an eye thingy.
No.
Where you shouldn't be, anyways. But no metal. If you want to use those little plastic weighted beads that you can get for weighted blankets, you wouldn't want to put those in the microwave either. I think you can, but you wouldn't, because you can dry them in the dryer, but you wouldn't want to have it so that it's warm enough, to feel nice on your face.
Yeah. So make sure to not use that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and we will be prepared to sew on Wednesday. I'm pretty excited about these eye things, actually.
I've lost all of mine. I don't know where they go. I take them on to like the airport with me and they're gone. So I'm excited to make these.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited also because we are just getting done with some sinus infections, and that is going to feel nice. It just feels so nice when you can relax with, something heated.
Yeah.
And it smell nice, and you can use any essential oils. I'll be bringing in what I use, which is from doTERRA. You're gonna bring in lavender.
Yeah, from our Rainforest Nutrition.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll bring in a couple, and we are so excited about that. If you guys have any questions, please comment, send us a DM, contact us. Yeah, email us, call us. If you have any questions at all, please don't forget about our website, www.whalestailquiltshop.com. And we have that newsletter. Gosh, we have so much new stuff coming out. So watch our Facebook page, like us on our social medias.
Oh, and we're uploading our videos on
yeah.
YouTube, so you can go check those out.
Yes.
So yeah, follow us on YouTube, like our videos, share them.
Yeah. Please help get us out there.
Yeah.
We hope you guys have an awesome Friday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have an awesome weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh gosh.
Oh, right, we gotta finish this somehow. Bye everyone. Have an awesome weekend.
All right. Happy Friday.
Friday.